Welcome back to the Voices of Change. I'm your host, Tex Wambui,
Your co-host, Gabriel Martinez.
and today we have a special guest on the pod. And this show is about voices that are transforming communities and reshaping the world. And today's guest does exactly that. So I
And
am
that's right.
going. Yes,
We're
sir.
honored to have David Ifediba. I hope I said that right. Ifediba with us, a powerful voice in environmental and mental health justice, cultural healing, and real estate empowerment.
So I'll just read a bio of David. And man, this guy got a lot he's doing. So David Ifediba is a dynamic professional whose passion spans education, real estate, and community leadership. At just 26 years old, he's already made significant strides as a nationally certified school psychologist and a 5-star real estate agent. Wow. Holding an EDS in education psychology earned in May 2024. David is dedicated to advancing knowledge, advocacy, and excellence in his field. In dual careers, David empowers students in Los Angeles schools, guiding them toward their fullest potential while also helping clients navigate life-changing home purchases. With nearly $10 million in sales volume, okay, money guy, his impact in Los Angeles' competitive real estate market is undeniable. David's leadership was widely recognized in 2024. He was reelected as a young adult president of the ICC-USA Igbo Catholic Community USA, where he leads spiritual initiatives, national conventions, and cultural programs that foster Igbo pride and empowerment. Additionally, he was selected for the 2025 Young Climate Leaders of Color YCLC cohort, where he plans to integrate community planning and environmental healing into ICC USA projects. We are in the same cohort, by the way. And beyond his professional achievements, David has showcased his versatility and confidence in other arenas. He walked the runway at LA Fashion Week and competed in the UIU Cares pageant, securing third place in his debut while volunteering with the UIU national team at their 20th national convention in Atlanta. A proud first-generation Nigerian immigrant, David blends his cultural heritage with a forward-thinking vision. His aspirations include opening a real estate brokerage, earning a doctorate degree, and expanding his impact as an educational consultant, all while mentoring others in psychology and real estate. David's journey is a testament to resilience, ambition, and service, and he is honored to be a guest on the Voices of Change. David, welcome. Welcome. What's up, my brother? Welcome, my brother. That was a
Good.
long-winded intro, man. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for reading
Yes,
it.
sir.
Very happy to be here, Gabriel. Tex, good to meet you again, man.
Yes, sir.
Just overall, just super solid time, and I'm happy to get back to you guys. Share my story, see who we can inspire from this, and kind of just go forward from there. But thank you guys both. Very grateful to be here overall.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So let's start off with the first segment of the day. We're going to talk about environmental and mental health justice. You have been at the forefront of this, and you're a school psychologist. So let's start with justice. You've been active at the intersection of environmental and mental advocacy. So what really pulled you into this space? And was there like a moment? We had an episode here. We talked about pivot. Was there a pivot moment that you had that kind of helped you realize like this is a space that I want to be in?
Yeah. So during my undergrad, I was working with this professor called named Dr. Carolyn Murray. She was like I called her like my research mom when I was at UC Riverside. Worked with her for 4 years and even a little bit after I graduated. So I worked with her for her program called the USA STEM Academy. That was a academy or program where I was basically mentoring and teaching ages or grades 7 through about 10th grade to improve on math, reading, and life skills. So they had like a rites of passage. It was boys and girls, and I was really involved as like the lead intern for her. She really like opened up to me about many things, and I was always there for her. So I sacrificed some Saturdays during like my undergrad just to be in her academy, waking up at 6:30 sometimes, being at her psychology building by 7 a.m., 7:30, and just being with these young kids. And so that's where I began to really begin like my journey as a servant leader and understanding the environmental and the mental health justices that these kids really needed. So that transition is my journey as a school psychologist. I did a lot of research on the impact of discrimination on the health of African Americans. I also did a research at UC Berkeley where I discussed how SES and parental involvement really helps kids. And then for my thesis and my master's, I also talked about parental participation and how kids see their or how different races view like their satisfaction in school, their safety in school, and so on, and how that really compares to different dynamics. So I've looked at intergenerational things. I looked at interracial aspects about mental health and environmental justice, and so that really grew into my position now as a school psychologist, where I'm helping like a team of other specialists to make decisions on a child's education in Compton, which is a very, as you guys know, very community that's very like underserved, and it can be very difficult at times with a lot of pushback from other people and even parents. But I enjoy it. You know, it's good to see the growth. It's not easy, but you know, if it was easy, then everybody would do it. So I'm happy to be leading that change.
We can't hear you,
Oh, I
sir.
think you're muted.
I muted myself. I was trying to. Anyways, that's commendable, man. And shout out to those people that were there to kind of lead that pathway for you to be where you're at now.
Mhm.
And also really, giving back and paying it forward to the community that you come from. Something that I think Gabe and I believe is culture for service, service for humanity. You have to give back and pay it forward to the people that are around you. So I guess a follow-up question to that is how do these areas show up together in the communities you serve, and why is it urgent that we address both of these things, as well as for you yourself, how do you see yourself being at that focal point of where either you can be the leader or you can be a follower to somebody who's a leader, and then also having your own sense of following to understanding this is how we are going to bring this together and become like a voice of change to our community.
Great question. No, I think more importantly, it's no, people don't understand the impact of mental health. I think I had to kind of really go through my own journey. I've been in therapy for 4 years and counting, and that really opened up and changed my life and it got me to really think differently. But everybody has a different like mental bandwidth. It's like a rubber band, like this right here, But some people don't stretch back as much as other people do. Other people just stay stretched and they're really, really burnt out and don't realize how much that they have just on them. So I talk about trauma because I said in very like underserved communities, that's like Compton, South Central LA. These people don't understand the amount of trauma that have been in those streets. The amount of people that like just coming home at night is a miracle because you don't know what you're passing by. Like I'm really driving by as I go to work every Monday through Friday, like gang signs, roads that are literally not constructed properly. Like I'm physically driving through the trauma every day, and so I'm just there for 8 hours in a day, maybe 9 or 10 if I'm writing like a like report like late at night. But some of these kids live there, and like for them to be going through that every day, to have lower SCS statuses, to have parents who sometimes, bro, like their parents high school, like the highest education that their parents have is sixth grade, eighth grade, and they're working these minimal jobs to support a family of 4 or 5, you know, and they don't really know more, but they don't understand the trauma that's kind of kept them down. So I try to open up and make sure that when I have my like reports done as a school psychologist, right, and I do like my IEPs or like my counseling, I offer a holistic approach. And also me being a black male in this space and knowing like the power that I have for these kids, that they can look up to me as somebody who they can copy in the future. Because growing up, I didn't know what a school psychologist was. Most people don't actually in the field. And I've made sure that as I kind of gone through like my master's at Long Beach State, that I was at the forefront and I kept a certain kind of prestige around myself, be with how I dressed, how I talked, how I moved. When I started like my master's, in August of 2021, time's flying. The first thing that they asked me was like, name a fun fact about yourself. And back then I had already been licensed as a realtor and I just sold or was in the process of selling like my first home. So I was like, I sold a home this summer and people look at me like, the hell was this dude doing here? But that already made me stand out. On top of that, being a black man. So they're like, what is this doing like in the right program? Like, what's going on with this guy? And so that just began this like snowball of me always kind of being like the one to kind of speak out for my cohort members. I won this scholarship called the Minority Scholarship my first year at Long Beach State. And I think I was the first person in Long Beach State history to win that scholarship when I was in my master's program. So I
Yes,
had to just
sir.
set a standard. Thank you, bro. And I just set a standard and just kind of keep it. Whenever I go to conferences, I always dress well. Make sure, because, you know, that first impression, you're not going to get that back, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You had suits every single day when we was in LA, bro.
You know, when I was in
Yeah, you was looking
Washington,
fly
I had them suits because
with the turtleneck too, with the little with the Cuban on top. Oh
yeah,
man,
yeah.
okay.
I take pride in how I dress because, man, bro, if you're late or if you stumble on some words, people will just kind of forget about it because you looking fly, you know? And so I really take pride in that. I make sure that my stuff is ironed, shoes are clean, all that stuff, because I understand the importance of dressing and standing out to make sure that you have that prestige. And going back to the question about environmental health and mental health, you know, like these kids don't know much better, man. Like if you're a kid in Compton, you probably know, oh, my uncle got a high school diploma, so maybe that's all I need to do well because he's making decent money. But you haven't seen a black man with a master's, you know, or just a side business trying to do more, do better. And also coming from a first generation background too, where I came from here from Nigeria, like being Nigerian and being like specifically Igbo, that hustle is just like in our blood. And like there's a phrase that says Naija know they carry last. You know, y'all probably heard, like we're just wired to just
Is
think
that Burna
different.
Boy?
No, that's not
Oh,
Burna Boy. It's
oh, my
just
bad.
it's like a general like Igbo phrase that we use all the time. But I say that to say like it's just wired in us. Like we just have to stand out. We have to be like the top of our class no matter where we are. And we just have to show people that we like deserve to be there no matter what way or what or how that looks like.
I like that.
Man,
David,
that is awesome, bro. And you know, it's a great segue to the next part. I'm gonna let Gabe take over on that one because you really
right
that
on.
all I'm gonna do is keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. You are definitely a voice
Yes,
of
sir.
change.
Yes, sir. And David, before we get into our next segment, I did want to ask for our listeners and viewers out there, right? You were speaking of SCS and the EID or EIP. Could you explain what those mean for our viewers?
Yeah, so SES is socio-economic status, and then that's obviously like your social like your income essentially, just to kind of make it simple.
Absolutely.
And then IEPs are what we as schools psychologists do, is what stands for individualized educational plans. So they're part of IDEA, no IDEA, yeah, IDEA, which is the Individuals with Disabilities and Educational Act, where we kind of sit down as a team to determine the best placement for a child. A lot of these kids that I'm dealing with now are what I call pandemic babies because they did kindergarten, first grade, second grade during the pandemic. So a lot of their foundational skills like reading, writing, spelling are gone. So we qualify them for different qualifications such as SOD, which stands for specific learning disability, also autism, intellectually disabled, OHI, which is the other health impairment. It's all kinds of little things that we do, but I can go into that in more detail later. But that's the real scope of our job upon many things that we do in the school.
Absolutely. And I know that that's going to be valuable information for not only parents, but then people that may be facing the same situations that you're speaking of, right? Coming from an impoverished or a community that doesn't necessarily have all the tools available to them. So I do appreciate that. Yes, sir. Moving
Of
into our
course.
next segment, we're going to dive into real estate wisdom for the youth. So for myself, I've always been an advocate for real estate. I purchased my first home this last December, and so I'm super excited for the information that we can delve into today. Yes, sir. So, without further ado, diving into it, David. Like I said, I'm big on ownership and legacy, and as a result, with you being a real estate realtor or a real estate agent, for yeah,
Same thing.
one of the two, same thing. Yes, sir. And so, with that being said, like, what brought you into that world? Like, what piqued your interest?
Yeah, going back, it starts with my dad first and foremost. When I came to America in '03, my dad was already a real estate investor. So literally the age of like 4 or 5 years old, he's taking me to his properties. I'm seeing him talking to tenants, bankers. Him as we grew up, we got more involved. So I started helping him with cleaning. You know, in the summers doing little errands here and there. So I was just exposed I was exposed to the business at a really young age, and yeah, my dad's a real estate investor, a licensed contractor. He's been in business for over 30 years. At my 2 weeks after I graduated from my bachelor's from UC Riverside, I told him that I wanted to get my real estate license. So he referred me to a real estate broker. His name was Jonathan. He lived in Rancho Palos Verdes, actually. And I shot him for about 6 months and just Saturdays checking in, seeing what he needed. If he needed me to help him do a showing, contract stuff, give me little bits about like the game. I still have like my notebook from the notes I took from him to the day, actually,
Yes, sir.
because that was my foundational, and it helped me out a lot because got me into like my first brokerage, which was EXP. Once I joined, I got my first listing like the next month, which was in Compton actually. So it's a full circle moment too. And then yeah, I was doing graduate school and being a realtor at the same time, and it was not easy. And it just been a lot of trial and error. But I'm next week, April 9th, makes it 4 years since I've been licensed as a realtor, and I'm currently studying to get my license as a broker. I have my books right here. So yeah, just trying to keep the snowball going. Looking back at it, that's why I love doing these kind of things because I can be introspective. I wanted to quit so many times, bro. People know, bro. Social media just shows like the highlight reel. I now have a social media manager. I have an assistant in person and a virtual assistant now. So I got my little team I'm building, and I want to continue to build out more of that because it's important to have that around you to grow faster. And for me, I wouldn't have thought I'd be here 4 years later. But my journey has definitely been, like I said, a testament to just resilience, trial and error, people just believing in me. And so I'm very, very grateful.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Not only your perspective, but your journey, David. It truly is appreciative. And moving forward, I know that as you do grow and as you scale up, the business and the momentum is going to just keep on going. I'm all about
Yes, sir.
continuous improvement, in whatever way that we can help, whatever way that we can support. Yeah, let us know. Yes, sir. So, um, moving into the next question now, I did want to follow up, right? So, for anyone who's just getting started, right, for our viewers and listeners out there, like what's one mindset shift or like one first move that they can make today to set them up for success tomorrow?
Don't stop. I would say, like it kind of goes hand in hand with like mental health. Like you're gonna have days where you feel like why am I doing this? Like, what am I, like, what's the point? You know? I have this Mamba mentality poster next to me, like right here, which is like obviously Kobe. And that played a big, big impact. Yeah, I love basketball. And so
Hey,
exactly. I can't play that well though, but I'm gonna do what I can do. But uh,
I'm the new Steph Curry. Just want to say that.
oh, this
it's all for
guy.
the love of the game, brother. Love of the game,
Love
yes,
it
sir.
again, brother. But I said to say, like, bro, like, I'm just start from square zero, bro. Like, my journey, March 2020, pandemic happens. Like, I moved back home. Like, I'm literally shadowing my dad. He's helping me with this one construction project that he's doing. I go from waking up and doing whatever I wanted in college to waking up at 6 a.m. to open like the gate that he had for these workers. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? But, from there, like I told you guys, I started to shadow the person he told me about. I was working with him too, helping him to lease out his properties. So I learned property management. I learned leasing. I was learning sales slowly but surely. I joined the team. December of 2020, I was like at like an all-time low at that point where I had this situationship I was going through that ended. Then I had my dream job. I left that because it was a toxic work environment. I had my student loan payments coming up. I had credit card debt. I was like, bruh, like, what am I going to do here? Like I was applying for graduate school at the time, but you don't know how it's gonna look like. And so my mom really honestly is the one that I always give like the credit to because I was really sad in my room one day. She just came in with like, my son, like, just keep going, like, just keep going, like, God's gonna bless you, like, just keep going. So I yeah, big shout out to mom, and I love her because we had the same
Mhm.
birthdays. Um
Oh, shout
yeah,
out my Dukes, yes, sir.
shout out mom, shout out mom. But yeah, that month, December 2020, I applied to work at Amazon Prime. I was doing like the grocery bagging. So, those groceries that they like ship to, yeah, I was the one bagging the groceries. So I was in the freezer aisle, the fridge aisle, and I still have pictures. I need to just put this on like a screen one day. But like, those were dark times, bro. And then the next month, January, started therapy. I started working at retail. I worked at DD's Discounts off of Rosecrans and Gardena. So
It is.
all time
Oh,
discounts,
yes,
bro.
sir.
But bro, when I tell you, bro, to this day, that December or January 2021 to April 2021 were like the most peak years or peak moments like of my focus. Didn't party, didn't go on dates, didn't really mess around. I was just studying for my real estate sales license, preparing for my graduate school, and then working different jobs. So I got let go of from Amazon in February of 2022. So like a month and a half later. Reason being because I was so locked in at my Amazon job. I was listening to podcasts about like, professionalism, how to be a man, real estate, reading a bunch of books like The Way of the Superior Man, Stuff for Life. I saw these books literally like right next to me, just to kind of lock in. Lost that job. I was depressed. God had it. The next week I got a job as a substitute teacher in February of that month. My pay like tripled or whatever. I was like, okay, cool. Now I got some kind of steady income, still grinding, still getting my graduate stuff situated, still studying for my test. Um, Fast forward April 2021, within a week, I got my car, I got my full ride to, no, my car, my real estate license, and my full ride to graduate school within like a week of each other. So literally was like, all right, this shit, like we on,
Come on
So
now.
yeah, so that's when I say resilience because my mindset was broken, like it was fractured. Like I still journal, like I look back at that journal entry every once in a while, like damn, bro, like we were down bad, bro. But like we got something now, we got school, we got a business that we can grow, and it's not the best 9 to 5 or best income, but it's something, At least I can feed myself.
Absolutely.
I'm still living at home,
Absolutely.
so yeah, and then that began the journey of like again trial and error, pushing things, trying things with juggling real estate, juggling graduate program, juggling substitute teaching full time, dealing with kids, badass public school kids, bro, in inner city LA, like they cussing you out, they calling you all kinds of, bro, but you just gotta just kill through it. Then you got class, then you gotta to try to farm for clients who don't really know anything about you because you're fresh in the business and
Mm.
all kinds of stuff, bro. So like I said, that really was a tough time, and I really thank God because, like I said, last year, seeing the fruits of my labor and still now, still going, it's a miracle, bro. So I thank God a lot. I think my parents. I think a lot of like just me again, trial and error, being resilient, focusing and betting on myself, because those were all really, really, really made a big difference for me. And there's no way that if I quit, it feels like I'm just kind of selling myself short, because I just don't know who else is going to be inspired or who else I can miss out on. And I just don't like the feeling of not knowing, So,
Mm.
um, I'm very like goal oriented, very ambitious, obviously, but I have like a written plan that I'm following and everything has been lining up. So I just keep moving, keep having that keep having that same momentum and just keep like trusting God that everything will just eventually like work out, and it has been so far. Not at the pace that I want, but knowing that God's time is the best time. So it's been a very, very enthusiastic and gracious journey the entire time, bro. So I'm looking forward to like writing like my book about it in like my 40s or something. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Man, David, appreciate it. Yes, sir, man.
Yes,
Not
bro.
only a
Thank
story of resilience, perseverance, but also putting your faith in God. Oh, I love it. And for those of our listeners, viewers out there as well, right? One thing I did ping when David was speaking was that when he first started getting into the real estate, he not only did he find a mentor, he found a team and he found support, right? He took the necessary steps to document his plan to where his goals and where he wanted to get to. And then in addition as well, followed through with that plan throughout all the different infractions, problems, circumstances that may have been in the road to block him. He worked through it to get to where he's at now. So I appreciate you, David. Yes, sir. And for those of us out there as well that may be interested, I did want to also follow up with a quick question as well, right? So this hot topic, little quick tip. Do you know, of course you know, because you are a realtor, yes sir, for the difference for people out there, what's the biggest difference between like FHA, conventional,
Uh,
and the different loans for like people that are looking to get in their first home?
Yeah, great question. So FHA is Federal Housing Administration loan. It's backed by like the government. You can put down as low 3.5% down. So it's great for first time home buyers. Credit, I think you have as low as 580 just to qualify for that. So a lot of people
Oh,
go that
that's
route.
low.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, but don't be that low. uh, Don't be that low. That's just to get you in. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, FHA is there. Conventional is also there. I would say not. That's like the loan that's most preferred. It's less restrictions. You can go as low as 3%. And yeah, it's a great option as well. There's also different loans for like veterans. VA loan, you put down 0%. I'm finding out recently there's loans for like doctors. There's even loans for I don't know, Congress people. I don't know. Like there's specific loan products for different careers sometimes. So I would just say as always, talk to your lender who you know, like, and trust, and multiple lenders especially, to get like the best rates for yourself and to find like the best product that'll work for you. Also several first time home buyer down payment assistance programs. And you can just kind of piecemeal it and really just like get something for yourself. I mean, I feel like home ownership is attainable if you're willing to sacrifice and just know what your target is, like it's just, and then find a trusted professional like me who can guide you through, like the process, through and through. So, yeah, I throw that shameless plug in there because I feel like,
Throw it in there. Yes, sir.
yeah,
If you're in the
yeah,
Compton area, you're in LA, make sure you reach out to
LA.
David, man. He's gonna take care of you guys for sure. Yes, sir.
And not just LA, like, bro, I've done deals in Texas. I've done deals in Florida. Like, I'm nationwide, bro. Like, I can refer it out and help you out to somebody in my team, bro. So,
He
yeah.
said he's nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. Come on now. David, the
David White is
man,
on
the
your side,
myth, the
bro.
legend himself. Come on. Yes, sir. He can do it all.
Hey, this
Appreciate it.
man just got us. I hope that's just secured us a sponsorship with Nationwide after you just plugged him in like that. Nationwide is on your side.
Hey,
Woohoo!
David White is on your side, bro. Give my
Yes,
5%
sir.
when that sponsor goes.
Come on now. Come on now. So,
Uh,
moving forward, I'll turn it back over to Tex for the next segment. Appreciate you for our real estate and development segment. Thank you so much, Dave.
Of course.
yeah. Before we get into the next segment, I just wanted you to do like a quick like scenario rundown. In terms of somebody looking to like buy a house, right? Let's say somebody has $20,000 that they want to put down.
Mhm.
And they come to you and they're like, "Hey, I got $20,000 and I want to put it down and put it in a house." Like, what would be your advice in terms of what next steps that would best serve them to getting the best deal out of that?
Yeah, first thing I would do is I'll have a home buyer consultation with them, sit down one on one with them, or do it via Zoom, like I've always been doing, talking about the whole process. Because I like to give people the education straight up. Because I don't want situations where they're going through the process and the questions come up and like, "Oh, you didn't teach me that," or "I signed this, you told me it was supposed to be that." Da, da, da. No, I like to coach people throughout the beginning, and then as we go through it, you can ask questions in between. And there's no such thing as a dumb question, and I'm here throughout each step of the way. And I'm a psychologist too, so it helps because I've literally have given some clients counseling because they're having panic attacks and they're not feeling like this is not the right home, blah blah blah. So I'm just like it's like a double-edged sword. Like you get the best of both worlds here. So yeah, first thing first, that consultation. Make sure that you're comfortable, knowing like your numbers. I get like my lending partners. I have several that I can refer you to. Then from there, I look and see what the best product is for you, being lending products. So we can do FHA, conventional, VA, whichever one works best for you. See if maybe you need a down payment assistance program. Talk to the lenders for that too. See if they can help you to add in the money from there too to help you to get your 20K up because sometimes it's more and a lot of people forget about closing costs. So that's really, really important. Then we just go shopping. Yeah, Gabriel knows about it. Then we just go shopping. Look at the homes that are available, see what you like, see what you love. I want you to really love your home. So I always tell my clients, give me the best top 3 homes that you love. Because I don't want you to like a home because you've been paying for this, because you'll be paying for this for the next 30 years at least. So make sure and things can change, bro. So yeah, and from there we write offers, we get our counters, the declines, whatever we had to do, and then we're in escrow, and then pray for a smooth 30-day escrow with the inspections, the loan, the appraisal, then closing day comes, and then and then we sing Kumbaya, Hallelujah, and I give you the keys. I got my deals with Dave Key up here. Give you guys the keys, and then give you a nice little closing gift, and shake our hands and kiss the babies, and call it a deal, man. Deal.
Come on now.
Wow. Okay. Um, that's really good to just for somebody who might be curious in terms of the process that it takes. Some
Yeah.
people might not really understand what next steps they can take to get themselves a house. This is not just a side question in terms of like, this is funny just to consider. You think the same process it is to buy a house in America is the same process it is for somebody, because we have some viewers who are in Africa and Europe, maybe it's the same process in those areas. What do you think is the difference in terms of buying a house in the United States versus buying a house in Africa?
I mean, bro, I'm Nigerian though. I beg. Back home, we don't do. There's no credit, bro. It's just you have the money now. You have the money now. there's no.
Uh,
There's
yes,
no
just like it is in Kenya too. It's either you got the money or you don't. No credit stuff.
bro. People can take 10 years back home to build a house. They'll do the foundation one year, and the next year they'll do the stucco. Next year they'll do the floor. Next year they'll do the roof. They don't care, bro. They'll take their time because it's cash over there, bro. And no one's giving you 7% interest rate. So I think the interest rate there is probably like 100%, bro. So I'm dead
Wait a
serious.
minute.
There's people don't
What?
loan money because you ain't gonna see them, bro. She.
Yeah, that's
Sheesh.
and I think there's like, it's a win-win situation depending on what somebody's preference is. If you want to buy a house that's already been made there for you, and you can just
Yeah.
choose and based upon that, or if you want to build your own house, ground up. Personally, I actually prefer, which is gonna shift perfectly to our next segment. I like the African way, because in Kenya, if you have land, it's your land. You can build, call whoever you want, and build your own house there. Over
Facts.
here, it's a whole different process in the USA.
Yeah.
So, now shifting to something, the personal aspect of things, relationship with your ancestry. And I'm my ancestry. I'm Kikuyu tribe. My home is Limuru. Was born in Mombasa in Kenya. I'm Kenyan and African to the world. And, in America, I am an American citizen, though. So for you, you shared a little bit about, your Igbo man. So what does connecting to your African roots mean for you, and how does it shape, like your mission, who you are?
Nah, yeah. The way that my accent would just come on so quick, bro. Because I just love my culture, bro. Like I always tell my friends, bro. 'Cause we have these conventions every year in different states and stuff. Like if I die, may God reincarnate me as an Igbo man again, bro. Because it's just so much fun, bro. Like, and it's just so beautiful. Our food, culture, the dancing, the religion. It's just so many different aspects, bro. And I've been very, very grateful that my parents, my dad, and my mom, really make sure that we're in tune with that at a young age. Like you're a Nigerian man, Nigerian boy. Like America is sweet, but know where your home is. So these things have been really, really impactful for me because, like, I've seen and I've gone back home to like what's called our OB, which is like our home, like where our grandpa like settled, and like I know I can like his grave is like 100 feet away on both sides, so I know that's home. I don't gotta do an ancestry test because I know like it's going to say 99% Nigerian or 90% Nigerian either way. Yes, I'm light skinned. Maybe there's a white man in there, but who knows? I'm just saying,
Shout out
bro.
our light
Like,
skins.
yeah. Well, yeah. I'm just saying, like, there's no guesswork, bro. Like, and I'm very grateful for that. And I always feel bad for people who don't have that same luxury, bro. For me, I'm so in Nigerian culture, we claim our dad's side as our home. So my village is Nemo. Like the fish, like the Disney movie, but it's Nimo. But specifically, there's different quarters. So I'm from Awato Nemo. And there's even a lineage, which is a Irugirigi lineage. So I don't know if you guys are kind of like watching Naruto. It's kind of funny. It's kind of like I think in Naruto there was like these two men who kind of like had the lineage of the whole like Hidden Leaf village. It's kind of similar in my village. So but I'm like, again, like my dad told me this and his dad told him that. And I'm sure so this has been carried down. So I'm very grateful. I'm still learning, which to me is beautiful because I really want to go back home and really sit with like the OGs, disconnect from social media, all that stuff. Just stay a week, with 2 months, whatever, or 2 weeks, and just kind of learn more because I know they have some stories that I would never have guessed. Um, yeah, so ancestry is very important. It's very, very critical. I want my kids to also understand where their culture is. So I really emphasize it comes down to language, like understanding like the language. Because once you don't have the language, the communication barrier is tough, man. And you kind of side more with the place that you're most comfortable with. And so I make it a point as I'm getting older to at least go back to Nigeria every year or every 2 years as much as I can. I'm joining a lot of cultural groups such as UIU, which stands for Umu Igbo Unite. And then, of course, as you guys know, I'm the young adult president for ICUSA, which is Igbo Catholic Community USA. So, and my church is fluent Igbo. We speak, Igbo. It's the whole way. Of course, not to say I can't mix with American people, because I can switch up the accent and everything. But I know deep down, when I'm around my people, I feel most happy, and I'm sure that text feels the same way. It's a different vibe, bro. So yeah.
Nah, I feel that, man. I really appreciate you touching it on that. For all the viewers out there, I know we got a lot of viewers in Kenya, so shout out to y'all. Actually, we want to give a shout out, by the way. Gabe told me to let y'all know this. We have hit 100 subscribers. He told me I got to do this shout out on YouTube. So thank you to all the people out there in Limuru or in Kenya, whoever where y'all at. Thank y'all so much. I know y'all the ones because I can look at the data. The data told me that's y'all. So shout out to y'all, and also shout out to the fact that's where I'm from too. That's my hometown, Limuru, specifically Lironi. I'm part of the Wahinga Wayaki family. That's from my mom's side. But I'm still a Mombasa boy. I'm a beach boy. That's where I was born. Transitioning to kind of like the next part of talking about this African ancestry and identity, I think for myself, it's obviously something that I can say whenever I'm around my people, I definitely do feel comfortable. I definitely do feel safe, but also at the same time, having lived in America, I have that ability to kind of know the nuance and cultural differences of knowing how to operate as an American, but also as an American, as a Kenyan American, and also just only as a Kenyan. So that ability to kind of code switch, and sometimes I do find myself speaking I ain't gonna lie, I really wanted to have an American accent when I was younger because I got so tired of being called the African booty scratcher, Kunta Kente, and all those things. I used to get so mad because I used to get made fun of. So I was like, I'm gonna make sure the next day y'all see me, I'm gonna sound like y'all, and y'all don't even gonna know I'm from Kenya. I'm gonna think I'm straight up from the hood right here down from y'all. So I really became I really mastered the American accent just because I wanted to, I guess it's called assimilating or fitting in. But at the same time, it's not like I can't go when I'm talking to my people. It's not like they can't understand me, and I can still speak Swahili, which is also another great aspect of being Kenyan as well. But my tribe language, I ain't gonna lie, that one's a little tough on the tongue. It's called the mother tongue. My mother tongue has definitely, I can hear it 100%, understand it. Just certain things sometimes they're harder to say because I'm not having that regular interaction and practice like I should be, considering that I'm around English maybe 22 hours out the day compared to 22 hours a day when I was a kid. It was my mother tongue language. So your brain gets kind of like filtered to see things differently. But it's not like my grandma speaks it to me, my mom speaks it to me. So, and all my cousins, when they call me, they be like, "Oh, hold on!" No, I'll be like, "Damn, y'all, I'm in America. Can I at least speak can I speak like an American just for a minute?" But anyways, kind of like just the ending on this segment before we transition to the Three for the Founders segment. Like in terms of your African ancestry and identity for yourself, what have you seen happen in terms of younger folks nowadays? When people, try to reclaim their heritage, in terms of, there's this whole push right now. Well, there's always been this push of people wanting to understand where they're from and understand their heritage. I guess I have my own personal opinion to it. I'm not going to get into that yet, but how do you feel about that whole aspect of people trying to reclaim their heritage and then making that their full identity when, they already had an identity prior to them even knowing where they're from, but then now they're just saying, "Oh, I found out I am 23% Norwegian. I am Norwegian every single day." Or I'm 97% Mongolian. I'm Mongolian, but damn, you've been raised in Russia your whole life, so you're technically Russian. So how do you feel about, the whole thing about people reclaiming their heritage and making them their full identity?
Honestly, bro, I think it's beautiful, like in its own way. The reason I say this is because, like, bro, like similar to y'all getting the whole African booty, African booty scratcher, all those other things growing up. And actually, when I first came to America, bro, like I was being called by my Nigerian name, which is Uganda. But people kept on butchering it, calling me Uganda. Man, let me switch my American name. Just call me David,
Sorry to
bro.
laugh, but they called you Uganda, bro.
Uganda, Iguana, all that stuff. Right? So I'm tired, bro. So let me just go to my usual name. So I've been since literally since first grade. I've been called David. But I say this to say, like, bro, after Black Panther came out, and I still stand by this, bro. After Black Panther came out in 2018, that's when the cultural shift happened, and everybody was like, "Oh, Wakanda forever! Oh, I want to go back home and see where I'm from." And so big shout out to them because, as you know, movies play a big impact about culture. But yeah, I think that it's a beautiful thing, bro, because I think it's important to reclaim like your roots. It's not their fault that they're in a foreign land, and that they've forgotten where they came from. If I was not knowing where I came from, I'll be excited to find out I'm 98% Nigerian or 90% Ghanaian or this. I'll be like, oh shoot, I'm actually not, David from Gardena. I'm David from X village and X city in Nigeria. So you have that foundation now. You're like, okay, cool. I may not know my specific family members or my specific heritage, but at least I can go and explore what I could have known, and then that provides more tourism, that provides more connections that you may not have never met. And I think it's really cool, bro, honestly. So it's something that should be praised, in its own way. But correctly, not abused. I don't
Yeah. Okay.
with like moderation kind of thing.
I
Like
that's
if you've been in America for 40 years, you just find out that you're Nigerian, but you look white as snow. Don't start that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that, please. But
nah,
I'm just speaking for myself.
yeah, I definitely agree on that. And something that I've always been like curious about, just because for me, I feel like, if you've known your identity to be this your whole life, and then you find out something differently, I don't know, maybe it might even cause you to have trauma and a mental breakdown, and that you don't need to go down that rabbit hole. Sometimes I just feel like there's no need to do that. But also just want to give shout out to Gabe's Heritage, Puerto Rican over here. We about to go to next episode, y'all. We about
Yes, sir.
y'all about to see us. We're gonna have an episode. Let me not. That's
Yeah,
that's
we got
supposed to be a
something
surprise.
cooking up in the future, guys. Stay tuned for the next couple of weeks. We got something nice, mighty, well cooked up, seasoned, ready for y'all to scoop up and you know devour. So yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
All right.
Yeah. But let's get to the next segment, man. Three for the founders. Gabe, I saw you, man. Take that
Yes,
over.
yes. So as we do our legendary, the one and only three for the founders. Yes, sir. Where we
Oh,
come,
funny.
yes, sir. Blue, blue, blue. And we
You
come and
know.
we each share one thing that's been grounding us or challenging us in our mission to share our voices for change. So I'll start. So one thing that I will say, so that everybody's on point, is that ownership is access. Okay. That idea has been driving me lately in owning your time, your vision, your story, right? We're all put in different situations, right? Where we may be back against the wall. We may have done things in the future that has put us where we are today, right? You got to own where you are currently so that you can continue to move forward into where you're going in the future. It's just, stemming back to what David was sharing, right? During COVID, things happen, where you don't know where you're going, you don't know what's going on, but you keep moving forward, you keep doing what you need to, you keep setting goals, you keep achieving the steps to achieve your goal, and owning that story, owning your vision, owning your time is what is going to propel you and move you to be who you want to be, achieve what you want to achieve, and to continue to progress and improve. So that's my piece for the three for the founders. Yes, sir. Passing it off to you, Tex.
Okay, number two for three for the founders. Before we get to the hot topic with our special guest today. Number two for me today is it's about stillness. Healing isn't always loud. There's power in the quiet moments, in the space where we allow ourselves to slow down, reflect, and truly reconnect with who you are or who we are. And I've been thinking a lot about agape love, the highest form of unconditional love. It's the kind of love that isn't transactional, that doesn't demand performance. It just is. And I think stillness gives us a chance to access that kind of love for ourselves, for others, and even for the world around us. When we're constantly moving, striving, or surviving, we can't forget that we're already worthy of rest, already worth of care. So right now, I'm learning to sit in that space more often, to let healing come through silence, slowness, and self-compassion. Because sometimes the most radical thing we can do is to love ourselves without condition. That is my number two for the day, for the three for the founders. And David, you got number 3. We usually leave number 3 for the hot topic. You know, we try to get up like a drum roll or whatever. And something that, you know, something that you've been deeply feeling or strongly, something you want to reflect on. It's the hot topic of the day, number 3. David, it's all yours, brother.
I would say self-care, because I would say I'm greatly lacking in that at this season of my life. And I think we cannot be the best version of ourselves to others unless we take care of ourselves now, first. So something I'm working on, struggling with it at the same time, but still a work in progress. I know that it comes in seasons in my life, and I'm just in a busy season. But at the same time, I need to do a better job of taking care of me first, because without yourself, I mean, God only gives you one body. You know what I'm saying? So self-care is key. Self-care is essential, and more ways to really wind down, massage, movie, something like that for yourself. Just taking a day off, is really, 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 really important. So yeah, I would love to share that, and I think that's really important for everybody to really just consider.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is just to follow up on that. If you got that PTO, use it. If you got that VTO, use it. If you got that sick leave, use it. Lake is in
Got
5.
that UPT?
Anyways,
Use it.
use it. Lake is in 5. But make sure y'all make sure. By the way, I just want to let y'all know I ended up getting a Luka Doncic shirt today. Just wanted to I ended up
I'm
getting
ready to cop
myself a
that,
Luka.
bro.
I got
Okay,
me
slight
a
flex.
Luka Doncic shirt. Just cause like. Come on, bro. They're winning the championship, y'all. Like,
Hey,
just
let's see how far
when this drop, when y'all see this episode, y'all gonna see the Lakers as probably the number 2 or 3 seed. Just saying. Just saying. But yeah, Gabe, it's time for you to close us out here, man.
And so, thank you all for joining us. Appreciate you. Before I do close this out, I will say the Kings are going to the playoffs this year. That's my hot take for this
Sacramento.
holiday.
Yes,
Sacramento Kings. We're going to the playoffs
Hey, man,
this
like the
year.
LA Kings, like hockey.
Yo,
What?
there's a better chance of Kenya's national soccer team making it to the World Cup than Sacramento making it to the playoffs this year. Like what?
Hey,
This year?
I'm faithful. I'm not a bandwagoner. I'm not somebody who's going to follow LeBron with whatever team he goes to. I'm
They
faithful
be
to my
winning.
team.
The king,
Yes,
you
sir.
mean the king, LeBron.
Go,
And by
go,
the way,
Jack.
what he did to Stephen A. Smith, I like that. I like that.
We love it. Listen, OKC, UFC, KFC, Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5.
Kings, dings, no
Sir.
rings, Lakers in 5.
Lakers
I
in 5.
agree.
Yes, sir. And so, David, just before we do close up, though, I wanted to know, how can people follow your work? Support your mission and or stay connected.
Yeah, please. I'm really easy to find. I'm on social media, YouTube, TikTok. Just search on my name. Instagram is David_Ifed, IFED. And there, all my links are really there. Also on YouTube, David Ifediba. Also TikTok, I believe is my name as well, or DUI Ifed, something like that. So, yeah, pretty easy to find. We'll definitely love doing stuff like this, because it gives me that space I need to just sit down one-on-one and really get all my stuff out. And I'm posting consistently. Like I said, I have my team, I have my business, I have my 9 to 5. So a lot of things coming up, a lot of things to see, a lot of things to do. And I'm really excited, because I have some more opportunities coming up. I have more speaking engagements next month too. And really looking forward to giving back to those who are listening and want to take advantage of all that. So yeah, that's where you guys can find me.
And also, y'all, we're gonna put all that stuff in the description below. So go check it out when the video drops, or whenever we drop it. Whenever y'all see this, go check out the down below. And also to all our listeners out there, this episode speaks to you. Share it, leave a review, comment, subscribe. Shout out to all the people that commented on our last video, our last podcast. Make sure you go download the Alive Podcast Network. We have a partnership with them to where they have Black hosted ad-free podcasts. Go listen on the Alive Podcast Network app. You can support this podcast as well and enjoy ad-free listening to nearly 100 other Black hosted podcasts. So go download it now. Whatever, Lakers at 5.
In 5. And so, everybody, until next time, one thing I will leave you with is to keep building. Keep healing and keep being a voice of change. Peace out and hasta luego. Yes, sir.
Peace out. Hasta luego.